Division of Rehabilitation, DRS, is the state's lead agency in providing employment and independent living services to more than 45,000 individuals with disabilities in more than 40 offices throughout Illinois.
This video is intended to give you, the viewer, a general overview of how a vocational rehabilitation case progresses and some of the common services we provide.
There are many ways a customer can be referred to DRS. The most common ways are by calling or coming in. A person can also complete a referral through our website, by mail, fax, or another referral source like a physician or school personnel.
The minimum information needed to make a referral is the customer's name, address, date of birth, social security number, and known disability. Once this information is received, it will then be entered into our case management system and a case is started. The customer will be assigned a counselor. The customer should expect to be contacted by the counselor either by phone or through a mailed letter. Initial interview. The first meeting we have with a customer is called the initial interview. During this meeting, we spend time educating the customer about our program and services and finding out more about their past work experiences, unique skills, and their goals for the future.
This meeting also gives us a chance to review any of the medical or psychiatric records that the customer has brought with them and get a better understanding of how their disability impacts their daily living. If a further evaluation is needed to document their disability, we will explain the ways we can go about getting this information and have the customer sign any needed releases of information.
Eligibility and order of selection determination. When determining if a customer is eligible for our services, we have two main things we must do. The first is to make sure there is documentation provided by a qualified medical personnel indicating that the customer's disability significantly limits them in different life activities and that our services are required in order to obtain an employment outcome. The second step is to then identify if the customer's limitations and needed services are significant enough to serve them in our program. If we determine that the customer meets both of these steps, we can then certify them as being eligible for our program. We then start working with the customer to match their job skills and interests with their desired employment. Once we have agreed upon a desired employment goal, we then meet to develop the Individualized Plan for Employment, IPE.
The IPE is a document that explains the goal that the customer and rehabilitation counselor have agreed will lead to a viable employment outcome. The plan describes the type of employment sought, the services necessary to make that goal happen, who will provide those services, and the duration of time those services will be provided.
This plan is based on the outcome of counseling sessions that have taken place between the counselor and the customer and is required to be completed no later than 90 days from the time the customer has been determined eligible for our program.
When we sit down to complete the plan with the customer, we make sure to inform them of the different services and providers of those services that will be necessary for them to reach their employment outcome.
Sometimes our customers require certain specialty services that we cannot provide. In those cases, we inform the customer of the different providers in the community who can assist them. That information allows the customer to choose who they would like to provide their needed service.
Some of the most common services we provide are counseling and guidance, referral information, vocational, academic and on-the-job training, job preparation activities and placement services, and restoration services, which would include surgeries, prosthetic devices, and medication.
Job development and placement. The type of job development activities we assist customers with depends on their individual needs and abilities. Services can vary from helping a customer complete a job application and practicing for an interview to tailoring a resume for a specific job.
We can also meet with employers directly and assess their specific employment needs and then match those needs to the interests and abilities of the customer. These services lead to better employment matches and more successful employment outcomes for our customers. Employment follow-up closure. Adjusting to a new job can be a challenge for anyone, especially if there are unique services and conditions that need to be considered. That's why one of the most important services we provide to customers to ensure stability on the job is employment follow-up. During this time, customers and counselors will contact each other to make sure they understand their work requirements and can communicate their needs to their employer effectively. That way, any immediate needs of the customer or employer can be addressed. A successful case closure happens when both the customer and counselor agree that they have maintained stability on their job for a minimum of 90 days, that the employment outcome is satisfactory and matches their strengths and abilities, and that the services on the plan for employment have been provided. This communication provides a win-win for everyone involved. We provide important employment services, the employer benefits from a valued employee, and the individual with a disability is successfully employed. We always tell customers, this is not a one-time case for you, meaning even if the case is closed, the customer can always come back again and reapply for services should they need further assistance.